When you look at the footage of astronauts in space, they seem to float around the capsule, seemingly free of the influence of gravity. However, they're still really near Earth. The International Space Station orbits at only about 400 kilometres, 250 miles above the surface. Drawn to scale, you can see it's not really that much further from the centre of mass than you are. The force between two objects, in this case the astronaut and the Earth, is the gravitational constant by the mass of the first object by the mass of the second object divided by the square of the radius. This means that on the International Space Station you'd still have 88.5% of the force of gravity acting on you that you'd have on the ground. So why, A, do you not fall back down, and B, what's with all the floating? The answer to A is that they are falling. It's just that they're moving so fast they keep missing the ground. A good way to picture this is to imagine a giant cannon. The ball it fires off goes a little way before being pulled back down to Earth by the force of gravity. Now if you increased the velocity of the cannonball, it would go a little further before it's pulled back down, and so further and further, till it eventually misses the ground completely and it's in orbit. Gravity is essentially bending the straight line path of the cannonball into a circle. There it would stay going round and round, as there isn't any noticeable drag from the atmosphere at the altitude of the ISS. There is a little, which is why they have to boost their orbit every now and again. As you can see here, it gradually gets slowed down by air resistance and drops to a lower orbit, so they have to speed it up every month or so to move it back to a higher orbit. There's nothing magical about being above the atmosphere. Gravity is still there, and if the International Space Station put the brakes on, it would fall back down to Earth. So why do astronauts float then? If you've ever jumped off a tall diving board or bungee jumped off a bridge, you have experienced a few moments of weightlessness yourself. It's nothing more than falling. In fact, this is how equipment destined for space is tested, either by dropping it down what is known as a drop shaft, typically an old mine, or a specially built tower. This though tends to be a bit hard on the equipment when it hits the bottom. So NASA has contracted the Zero Gravity Corporation that sends equipment to be tested up in the Vomit Comet, a modified Boeing 727. This way you can enjoy about 20 seconds of freefall followed by nearly twice normal gravity as you climb back up. This is not for those prone to air sickness. Every flight has a small percentage of kills, those rendered too sick to move that have to be sedated and strapped down so they don't injure themselves or others while helplessly vomiting. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments below. As to why people get motion sick, I'll be covering that in a future video.